Well, hello and good morning, everybody. Tucson Joe coming back at you for a great day today. I'm out here on Friday, July 21st, 2023 at Kino Sports Complex right here behind me, as you can see. This is famous ball stadium where the Diamondbacks used to play their spring training. I'm out here, it's about 6 o'clock-ish in the morning. Decided to get out here nice and early, and it is beautiful, I will tell you. This is probably the first really nice morning we've had in probably about 2 weeks. Usually about this time in the morning, it's already getting close to 90 degrees. So it's getting hot here in the old Pueblo. Unfortunately, that's why I haven't been able to get out, make as many videos as I've wanted to recently, at least on being outside, outdoors and things. It's just way too hot right now. But just wanted to come over here, kind of show off the ballpark a little bit, talk about some memories I have coming out here as a kid, watching baseball, seeing Randy Johnson pitch for the Diamondbacks, seeing Luis Gonzalez hit for the Diamondbacks, watching all the greats that they had play. I still remember that 2001 World Series team out here playing spring training, getting all their autographs. I'll show you that little spot. It's right back over here. It used to be where they'd go back into the clubhouse sometimes during the middle of the game or come out before the game. I'll show all that off. Just some good memories out here, and it's really cool just being right here. Now, I can't really go inside and walk around, unfortunately. I kind of really wish I could, but I can walk around the perimeter. They got a gate, but I can walk around the perimeter and show off the stadium a bit and just give you guys some memories. So I'm asking you to join along if you want to, and we'll get this little adventure started. Here we go. So getting this angle here, you can see the ball field. Now, right over here, right in the middle, kind of hard to find with my finger there, I believe right in there, and then right back over there where the gates you would come into when they'd open the gates for you to come into the ballpark. You'd come in right over through there. That's usually, well, if I can get the camera to focus here, that's usually where me and my dad would come in for the games, right over there. And just getting an angle at the ballpark, you can see the grounds crew down there taking care of the infield. Got some over in the outfield as well, mowing the grass. This ballpark just brings back so many memories for me. Now, one of the most unique memories I have of this ballpark, I kind of want to talk about it just a little bit here. This video is not going to be super long. I'm going to keep it as short as possible, just talk about a couple of memories and probably head back to the house before it heats up really bad. But one of my best memories is when Randy Johnson hit the bird with his pitch. And I'm going to insert the clip right here, right now. And as you just saw that clip of him hitting the bird there, I was here at that game. I was standing right up behind home plate, kind of right over in there. You can see my finger, kind of right over in there. I was standing up behind home plate. Now, one of the fun things about coming to the ballpark is you see the grass area. So you can see the little grass area right over in there. And then out in the infield, now that's the bullpen over there. And right over there next to it, under the scoreboard and wrapping around over here, you can see it. That was all the grass area seating in the stadium. And that was like $3. $3 you could get a grass seat, come out to the game, enjoy it for the afternoon, evening, whenever they were playing, morning, afternoon, evening. So this berm area over here would fill up in a lot of games, and it was really cool to see. I'll walk over here just for the grass area there. So for $3, you'd come sit out here on the grass area. Usually they'd let you bring like a blanket so you could throw down and sit, but you could just sit on the grass if you wanted to. So me and my dad had this neat little hack, really neat little hack. What we do, and they allowed this, by the way, they allowed this. Not a lot of people knew about it, but they allowed it. what you could do is get seating for the grass area. And you know, you could walk around the whole game if you wanted to around the stadium. But over, let's see if I can get the camera in through here and focus. So over, you can see all the seating right there. Up behind it, up there on the walkway, they have a little railing. You could stand right up against that railing, and they had a little line painted on the ground right behind you of your standing area. But you could stand behind home plate there. So you can see the railing right over there. You could lean up against that. If you had a grass ticket, they didn't care. As long as you had a ticket, you could stand there for an inning, a few innings, the whole game. Just as long as you weren't getting in people's way in the walk path, they'd let you stand there. So me and my dad found out that little hack. And you had some shade too, as well, under that canopy there. Just a little bit. So it helped during the afternoon. You'd get the building and that little canopy would cast shade right behind home plate there. And you could stand and watch the game in the shade out here in this warm desert sun, even in March. So that was the hack me and my dad had. So I'm just kind of walking down the sidewalk here. You can see they got the chain link fence up. And that's pretty much the only thing separating you from the walkway and the road over here to that ballpark. Some people would come out when the Diamondbacks were playing spring training, would come out and just kind of stand up along the fence and try and watch a little bit of the game. If you could see over people, you know, they'd always have security walking on the inside who would come over to the gate and tell people, hey, you gotta buy a ticket or move along, you know, no watching the game for free. This little building over here was a concession stand. And right over here was where you'd order your concessions. And then they had concessions all along the promenade there as well. It was just a fun time coming out to the ball game here. Always was, always was. And then just kind of panning over a little bit. One thing I love about this area is it's very beautiful. This is on Ajo and Forges Avenue. And it's right next to Banner UMC Medical, right over here, next to the hospital. Now the hospital has been built up a little bit. Back in the back there, you can see it. All that's been built up. That used to be all parking and everything, and it's for the ball games. They still have most of the lots over open over there, but back in here they used to have much more space, and they've built all that up for the hospital now. But getting back to the little area here, they built this little pedestrian bridge back, I want to say maybe around 98, 99. And they did it for the sole purpose of for people being able to cross the street before and after the games, especially after the games when everybody's just flooding out of the stadium. Some people would park across the street over here in the parking lot. And then, you know, there would be some people just, you know, taking the bus, which runs down Ajo here. So the best way to cross the street, instead of having to wait for the light and hold traffic up, they build a footbridge here. You just walk up and walk across the street, and you don't hold up traffic, and you can have a mass amount of people walking across. So I'm going to walk up here a little bit and see what kind of view I can get into the stadium. So here we go. And from up, just kind of walked up the footbridge here to the very base of the bridge, basically. Not even crossing it. You can see Ajo down here below me. That's the ballpark right there. Now you talk about a view. Wow, that's really cool. So now I'm going to get to the main part of the video, talking about when Randy hit the bird. Now, as you saw from the clip, I can't get the exact angle here, unfortunately. The camera, I believe, is located on the other side of the building down there. It's kind of in the wall facing out towards the pitcher's mound and all that, the home plate. Where I was standing with my dad while we were at the game would have been right up in there, I do believe. If I am remembering correctly, I think we were right up in that section right there, standing right up behind home plate. So when he threw the pitch, now they don't have it right now. They don't even have it up. The net used to be stretched, across this portion of the stadium seating, like any other stadium, obviously. But they don't have the netting up right now. So it's kind of hard to remember exactly how far it went, the netting. I want to say it stretched over the top of the dugouts and then ended kind of at the end of the dugout there. So the bird was sitting up in the netting almost towards where the ropes were that, pull it tight and tie it off. The bird was sitting up in that netting there. And Randy Johnson was on the mound, got his sign for the pitch from the catcher, stood up to wind up for the pitch, and then all of a sudden that bird took flight from that netting, swooped down over the field, and straight across home plate just as soon as you saw in the clip, just as soon as Randy threw the ball hit the bird. Now I was standing up behind home plate there, and I just saw an explosion of feathers. It was crazy. So he threw the pitch, and I swear, I watched Randy Johnson pitch so much, I could tell what pitch he was throwing. I could swear he was throwing a fastball. Might not have been, but I could almost swear it was a fastball. And his fastball was famous for pretty much all the time almost being 100 miles per hour. If it was at his very least, it was probably about 92, 93 miles per hour. So yeah, it was a poof. And you can see it in the clip, but you can only see it so much. But you could just see the explosion of the feathers. And I was fairly close. Those rows only go back probably maybe 15, 20 rows tops, going back up to where I was standing from home plate there, from the very first row. So yeah, it was crazy. I was very close, and it shocked me. It shocked everybody in the stadium. There was just this huge collective gasp when it happened. It was a kind of a thing, it shook and shocked everybody at the same time. And it doesn't show it in the clip, because in the clip it sort of stops after Randy hits the bird, and he just kind of stands there on the mound for a couple of seconds. When the clip stops, you don't get to see the rest of what happened. The rest of what happened was when Randy hit that bird, it took him a couple of seconds on the mound. He was standing there, and I could tell he was in shock. He didn't know what to think of this. This was rare, and it never happens. Well, it took him a couple of seconds, but after a couple of seconds, he literally just kind of drops down to his knees like this and is sitting there, and he's just in bewilderment and astonishment and just shock. And I was a distance away, but I was close enough. I could see his facial expression. It messed with him. Randy Johnson is a kind, gentle person. He's a kind, gentle giant. Randy Johnson is 6'10". I've met Randy Johnson, by the way, face to belt, not face to face, face to belt. I was literally across the street over here. So right across the street over here, they used to have their training fields. Now they have some training fields. They have some training fields kind of right over on the other side of the stadium over here. But right across the street, they had more. Now these have all been switched over now to basically soccer fields, and they play rugby, soccer, and all that over there. But they used to have their training fields over there, and they had probably about 4 or 5, maybe 6 ball fields. And they'd go out mid-February or mid-March or February. I can't talk this morning. I'm sorry, guys. They go out about mid-February and start practicing, batting practice, fielding practice, pitching practice, all that good stuff. I've got to meet so many Diamondbacks pretty much face-to-face over there compared to the field over here. Now, it was really easy to get autographs over here, and I've come face-to-face with several Diamondbacks over here getting autographs, but nothing could compete with coming out in like mid-February, watching them for a couple hours in mid-morning practice, having some baseball cards, a baseball with you, and getting it signed by some of your favorite ball players. You can't beat that experience, I tell you. But I was over here. Randy Johnson was doing some pitching practice one day, and he was finishing up. So me and probably about 3-4 other young guys about my age, and at that time I was probably about 13, 14, I'd say. We all noticed he was finishing up pitching, so we went over real quick to the little gate area where he would come out, kind of through a little dugout and then out the gate area and then down the walkway, and he'd go to the next field or whatever, or back to the clubhouse, whatever. He was coming out, so a group of us, we didn't rush him. Now there's specific ways to get autographs, and that's to be polite, that's to be courteous, and that's to be kind. Always say thank you, always say please, all that good stuff. Don't push, don't push it in their face, nothing like that. Just always be nice. We walked over, we didn't crowd him. He came out, we go, Mr. Johnson, can we get your autograph? And he goes, sure thing, kids. Big tall dude, big tall guy, 6'10". You know, at that time I'm probably 5'7" tops, you know, and I'm looking up at him like that. And I'm standing as close to him as I'm standing close to this camera right here. No joke, I was that close to Randy Johnson. 4-time Cy Young award-winning, bird-hitting Randy Johnson. Got to meet him. But kind of back to the story, let me flip the camera around. I'll show off the field instead of this mug. So when he hit that bird, he just kind of went down on his, not his knees, but kind of just squatted down, and it shook him. You could tell he was shaking. One of the, they were playing the San Francisco Giants that day. I believe it was March 24th, 2001. They were playing the San Francisco Giants that day. So that would be their dugout right there. No. Yes, that would be their dugout if they were the away team. One of the Giants players comes out. After a couple of minutes, nobody kind of knew what to do. One of the Giants players, can't remember if he was second baseman or what, finally comes out of the dugout, walks across, the bird's kind of laying right there, picks up the bird, starts to walk back, he turns to Randy, and I'll put the picture in. I have a little picture. It's kind of a close-up picture, but I'll put the picture in. He kind of turns to Randy, kind of holds the bird out with both hands towards him a little bit and smiles at him. And Randy Johnson did not like that. You could tell his facial expression. He was already shaken up about it, but Randy did not like that. And you could tell the scowl on his face from all the way back where I was standing, back up there on the concourse. Great memory, just a great memory. But yeah, the time Randy Johnson hit the bird, it's something I'll never forget. As long as I live and have my faculties about me, that's a memory I don't think I'll ever forget. Randy Johnson hitting the bird. Wow. And just lots of cool stories, but that really is the coolest, most memorable one for me, was when he hit the bird. Another memorable one for me is when Luis Gonzalez was up to bat one day, and I was walking over by the third base dugout side getting a hot dog. Just got my hot dog. Luis Gonzalez was up to bat, hits a foul ball right up over the little awning right up above the concourse there, bounces off it, lands right next to me. I got Luis Gonzalez's hit foul ball. He left the game about an inning later, and when they'd walk out, you can't see it from here. I'll get you a better angle in a minute. They'd walk out this way, and then there's a little like hallway alcove they'd walk down, but you could stand up above it and hold your stuff down and try and get an autograph, you know. I got that ball autographed when Luis Gonzalez was walking out of the field that day, right after he'd hit it. An inning later, he's walking out. I held it down with my marker and said, Mr. Gonzalez, this is the foul ball you just hit. Could you sign it for me on the sweet spot? And he did it. Fortunately, I do not have that ball anymore, and I'm sad about that, but that's a great memory right there. Another great memory. Right over next to the third base. Oh, let me get in camera. Right over here during batting practice before a game, one spring training. Mark Grace, when he played for the Diamondbacks, Mark Grace, I believe he retired with the Diamondbacks, if I'm not mistaken, came over to this little wall right where my finger's pointing and started signing autographs for everybody. So I got to literally walk down to that wall, stand as close as I am to you right now and as close as I did to Randy Johnson. The only thing I had was a little wall right there separating us to Mark Grace, and I got his autograph too. Now, I pretty much had the entire 2001 World Series winning championship team from the spring training. I had all their autographs on a baseball at one time, and again, don't have that anymore. Circumstances, when you're young, when you're stupid, and you don't take care of your stuff, and it goes missing, and you can't find it, don't do that. Take care of your stuff, guys. Learn that lesson from me. Take care of your prized possessions, because I wish to everything I had those possessions to this day. Really do, really do. All right, I'm going to show a little bit more of the ballpark, and then I think we're going to call it quits. We're already peaking at about 20-something minutes for the video, so I don't want to get it long. Just want to share this memory with you guys, and I had a good time doing it. It's a beautiful morning. I'm getting to be over here by the ballpark, one of my favorite places in Tucson. I have not been to in probably about 15 years to a ball game. So, yeah, I love it. All right, I'll take you around the stadium a little more and show it off. If you like the video, like it down below, hit that like button. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. It really means the world to me. My goal right now is 1,000 subscribers. After that, I'm going up, but right now the goal is 1,000 subscribers. Trying to get there. Really want to try and get the channel monetized so I can do this full time every day if I can, coming out making content for you guys, not only in Tucson, around there, southern Arizona, around the state of Arizona, and around the other states around Arizona as well. And then eventually the entire United States, traveling up into Canada. Yeah, I just want to do more traveling, experience more of the world, show it off to you guys, and just, yeah, have a good time. It's just a passion of mine. So anyway, guys, I'm going to stop rambling. The video's long enough already. If you like this video, like it down below. Comment your favorite part if you got good spring training memories. If you're a Tucsonan, former Tucsonan who has some spring training memories, comment down below. We'd love to hear them. Anyway, guys, signing off for today, Tucson Joe, for a great day today. Hope you guys have a great day, and I'll catch you in the next one.